So I wanted to record a tutorial about building a logo from scratch. I think there's probably something like this in the tutorials already, but I wanted to go again and just kind of talk about my approach to it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this one here. The first thing I'm going to do is I am going to crop the image if I can. Crop image. So I'm just going to scale this down so I'm just looking at the one I want. And press enter. And now I'm going to scale this up so I can work on it a bit better. So you can see it's pretty rough. So I'm going to bring the opacity down over here in properties. I'm going to go to my layers. I'm going to lock that one. Then I make a new layer on top. So I guess there's a couple of ways to do this really. So what I'm going to do is, if you look at this, essentially it's two shapes. Well, you could argue that it's 1, 2, 3, 4 shapes, and then this gap between them. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this whole OR as one big shape, and then I'm going to cut out that lightning bolt shape through it. So, and really what I want you to see is that the approach to it is that I am trying to break this down into the simplest way to do this. I could make two triangles, an offset rectangle, and then this odd kind of mix of a triangle and a circle. But you know, why make 4 shapes when I can make one and then cut something out of it? So let's go to my pen tool first. And again, the drawing is a guide. And that's all it is. Now this, at the moment, you can see over here, I've got it set to white fill and no outline. I'm going to choose the standard white fill and black outline and then get rid of the fill. So if I hold the shift key down, it'll hold it to a straight line or a 45-degree change in that. I'm going to go there. Then if I go back up here, I can see there is a 45-degree line. I'm going to go out to here, and I'm going to go up, and then I'm going to go over. Right, so that's my basic shape. And you can see there I've elected to go with a 45-degree line here rather than follow that one. And that means if I put in 45-degree lines here, then everything should line up in theory. So the other thing I want to do is I want to put in a circle now. And I'm going to make this circle the same height as this box here at the top. So I'm going to start on that line, shift and drag. You see the smart guides are telling me I'm lined up. And then I'm going to grab the center here and drag that over to there. Okay, so now I'm going to select this whole thing, and then I am going to try shape building with it. And you can see that I can now remove these shapes. I go to Alt minus, let's put it into minus mode, and then I just take these shapes and put them together. And I feel now I am 90% of the way through this logo. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to choose the pen tool, and I'm going to draw, it's just a line down through here, and I'm going to click once. I'm kind of lining it up visually in the center of that. So I'm going to go there, and I'm going to 45-degree. Yeah, now this will take a bit of doing, but let's just go straight across and do it. So at this point, I'm going to switch off the layer below, because that's not really helping us anymore. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to fill that in with black, and this I'm going to tell it to be white. And in my properties, I'm just going to start expanding that line. Now you can see at a certain point, like if we, let's switch back on our sketch. I'm going to unlock it because I want to move it around. Now you can see, look at this. So the point there seems to be touching the point there, and that point seems to be connecting to the edge. So I'm going to take this line, I'm going to drag it over. I'm going to drop it down. And to me, the part that makes most sense of this is if I line that up here so that the edge of the line kind of carries on this line down here, and then it cuts it off there and there. But I think in drawing this, let's see if we can do anything with it. So let's go to our direct selection tool. I'm going to click on this point and this point, and I'm going to nudge those over so as I can get the point of my arrow, or the point of the line just about where those two meet. And I feel that's it. Okay, so this is at the moment, this is a line that has a certain thickness to it. It's not an object in that traditional sense. So I want to make it an object, and I want to separate it from this using the shape builder. But you can see it's just a line and it has a certain thickness. So what I do is I say object, expand. And I say expand the fill and the stroke. And I say okay. And now it's become an object. You can see the difference there. Now I can't change, I can change the stroke, but it'll be on the edge of the thing. So now I just want to remove one from the other. And I think if I could do it with Pathfinder. I could just remove the first one. So you see there's nothing in there, but there's all the, this is a thing on its own. Or I could just undo that, and I could use the shape builder, which is here. So I'm going to say Alt, and I'm just going to get rid of all those bits that I don't want. And then you don't really have to necessarily, but I would click that, and just to identify those as shapes. They're probably separate shapes now, so I would group them. Object, group, and there they are. That's my logo built. So you can see how rough the sketch is compared to the finished thing. Now you can look at this and go, right, this lightning bolt line seems to be a lot thicker in this one, but that's because we look at the angle there and the angle there, they're off, you know. Now we could, in theory, make this line here a little thicker and this line here a little thicker. We could do that by going to, well actually we couldn't, because we could do this one. See that? But we can't really do this one because you would be altering the height of that line because you'd be moving those over. So I'm just going to undo it. But I guess my point is that the sketch is a starting point. It is not something that you slave over. And let's say we call this, I'm going to call this revolution. It's a handy OR word that I use whenever I'm doing demos and the product is beginning with an OR. So that looks like a record label to me, or you know, you can imagine that as an icon on your phone. Let's change this to swatches. Change that to a little artifact there. Okay. Yeah, just gonna move that away. Sure, what that was left over from, but we can go to. Okay, so that's it. And you could then take, I don't know, you could try it with a rounded rectangle. Flip those around. It's going to increase the tracking between the two words, or between that word, so that the gaps between the letters are a bit bigger. That way I can have it the same width as revolution, but it's oh, swap that around. No fill. And there you go. So once you have the logo right, let's say, then always what you do next is you're going to make your business card. So I would go to my artboard tool, which is here. I just draw a box any size and press enter. And I know that the width for in millimeters for this is 76.2 or 3 inches. 25.4 millimeters is an inch, and this will be 50.8. Now you can set your units to inches if you prefer, and how you do that is you go to file, edit, sorry, I'm on a Mac, so Illustrator, Preferences, Units, and you can specify inches. On a PC, I think it's in Edit, and Preferences is down the bottom. So let's say I go to my artboard, I hold the Alt key down, I click and drag this, and that'll be the back of my business card. So I'm going to take this, group it as one thing, so Control G, or you can go Object Group, and then I'm going to scale this down. And I'm going to drag it over here. And I might find actually on this business card, the way this logo is tall, it's going to suit being on its side on the business card. Now, see the way I have it there? If you go to your Align tool over here, you can just say align it to the artboard, and then I'm just going to align it centrally both ways, and I pretty much had it there anyway. So that's the front of my business card, and on the back will be text information, and it'll just be Bill McDermott, just by my own name, CEO, whatever it is, sorry, and then it'll be like contact details like wmcd at rr.com, 087-123-4567, you know, whatever details you want to put in. And then what I could do is I could highlight that part, and I could make that orange like the other part. I could highlight that part and make it blue, and just continue on that color scheme on the other side, you know. Then I could take this, Alt and drag to here. I'm going to rotate it. This would be my letterhead for get it to the size I want. Then I would choose the text tool. Where is that? There it is. Over here, I'm just going to put in some text to represent like address and contact details. I'm going to put that in blue. Over here, I'm going to align it to the right. I might put in another text box down the bottom. You know, you sometimes see that kind of more legal stuff. I might center that because it's at the bottom, and I might put that in orange. There's my letterhead. Now this will all come about after you've done like this won't be your first logo that you've created. You'll try other things, but this might work for you. Then what I might do is I could do something like this. I'm going to ungroup this object, ungroup. I'm going to take this, drag out a copy. I'm going to place it right in the middle. Okay, I'm going to group these again just while I think about it. And this one, I'm going to expand. So I'm going to hold the Shift key down to expand this, but I'm going to hold the Alt key as well, and that will expand it from the center. Now I'm just going to take its opacity way down, and that would be my my paper. It's an expensive decision to have paper like that, but you know. And I might say, okay, this stuff here doesn't need to be so big. I'll drop that down to 9 points. I'll drop this down to 9 as well. Buy myself some space back on the document, you know, not so crowded. And that's it. Okay, hope that's useful to you.